In this video, we're going to be touching on the latest in the POWERCITY ecosystem, and I'll be chatting with my partner in crime, Mr. Just Ask Jesse, in the house. How are we doing?
What's going on? What's going on?
Good to see you, man.
Yep. So I wanted to address a couple things today. There's a little bit of FUD that just appeared out of nowhere from somebody new in the community about liquidity forks. And basically what was said was you can use a liquidity fork to steal a bunch of Pulse or PulseX or Hex, depending on which protocol you use. That you could just use a little bit of money, and then you can get magnitudes greater amounts of the collateral position, and basically just steal from Pulse chain, acquire lots and lots of coins. And that's simply not how it works. I suggest if you believe that it works that way, go try it, because you'll find out very quickly that you'll just lose all your money. But it's important to note that leverage trading on an exchange is very different than an over collateralized DeFi protocol, such as either Maker or Liquidity. See, in Maker or Liquidity, you have to put up more collateral than the value of the stable coins you're minting. You have to bring more value to the table than what the system's going to give you, right? Very much like a home equity line of credit. You can have a $1 million home, and you can put that up as collateral, and you can take a $200,000 loan, perfectly acceptable, right? But you'd be hard pressed to find a bank on your $1 million home to give you $2 million. Right, on your $1 million home. That's just not how it works. Now, on an exchange, it is a little bit different. On an exchange, you bring a little bit of money and you leverage that up, and you're basically gambling with a lot of money. You can bring $1,000 to the table, and you can 10x leverage that, and now you're gambling with $10,000 worth of value, but you're also 10 times more likely to become liquidated. The price moves a little bit, but your position, you're going to get liquidated 10 times faster than if you were just essentially doing nothing. You can easily lose all your money. And the more you leverage, if you go 20x leverage, 50x leverage, some places let you do 100x leverage, you just lose all your money very quickly. So that $1,000 you brought to the table just disappears very quickly. Right. On an over collateralized debt system, it's very different. You bring, say you want $1,000. Well, you're going to have to bring more than $1,000 worth of value to back the $1,000 that you're about to mint, the 1,000 stable coins that you're about to mint. Just like I said, just like a HELOC, a home equity line of credit. And the whole idea of this is for a number of reasons why you want to do this. One, you want a blockchain that has a healthy ecosystem of stable coins that are native to the chain, that are freshly minted and over collateralized on the blockchain. So you're not dependent on other chains such as Ethereum or Binance or whatever. They have to bridge all those in. That's number one. Number two is there could be tax advantages to not selling your asset. So when you're ready to remove some sort of value from crypto because you have bills to pay, or you have something that you want to, an expense you need to use some value for, you need to go buy something, instead of selling the thing that you like and dumping the price on yourself and everybody else, perhaps you simply take a loan against that. There might be tax advantages to doing that. So instead of 36% capital gains tax, maybe you don't have any tax because you did it in the form of a loan, right? So you're actually up like 36% in some cases right off the bat. And then you're also just not dumping the price on yourself, right? So the more people, so you always have an option. People, you see what the markets are doing. You see what some of these even whales in Pulse Chain are doing. The price goes up a little bit, they dump their bags. price goes down a lot, right? And it keeps happening over and over and over. Now, if these same individuals, if they wanted to take some profits and they said, you know what, let me go ahead and mint some stable coins instead. Now they're limited to the size of the liquidity pools where the stable coins are located. So there is, whatever's over there, $1 million, $2 million, whatever dollars in those liquidity pools, they're limited to that. However, these systems are always and forever fully redeemable as well. So every single stable coin that they mint is able to be redeemed back for $1 worth of its underlying collateral. So in essence, they have unlimited liquidity, even without any external dexes, any external liquidity pools, right? So you convince the community, instead of dumping and continually dumping on each other, hey, here's a mechanism where you can lock up some value and mint something else. Lock up the thing you don't want to go down in value and mint something else. And that thing happens to be a stable coin. It's pegged to $1. There are some yield plays on it if that's the direction you want to go. Or you simply swap that for a stable coin of your choice and go back to ETH like you're going to do it, anyway. You're going to dump your pulse anyway. So instead, you didn't dump your pulse and you dumped the stable coin instead, which immediately repegs itself. Nobody's hurt, right? The price stayed the same in the collateral asset, and everybody's happy, right? The guy who wanted some value out of the system, he's happy. He got what he wanted. He's out. He's got some value back on ETH. And the rest of the community is happy because that guy didn't dump on their head. Instead, he just put it in the vault, right? So that's the whole idea. And that's exactly how Maker works. That's exactly how Liquidity works, how Liquid Loans works, how Flex works, how Earn Protocol works. They all work very similarly in that effect. Now, the FUD that I heard or read on Twitter was basically some people's strategy. And the comment basically was, you can use these systems to steal a bunch of Pulse or PulseX or Hex to acquire many, many times more value than you had to bring to the table. Kind of, but not really. So there is one method that somebody could choose, and there's actually a strategy name out there. People call it the haunted strategy. It does have its own risks, but here's how that works. And it's not like it was portrayed by this girl on X. Let's say you brought $1,000 of let's say you brought a $1,100 worth of collateral, and you minted yourself $1,000 worth of stable coins. All right, you're at 110% collateral health. You're at the very lowest health. You're close to liquidation. All right, now you took your $1,000 and you said, I'm going to go buy some more PulseX with that. You took your PulseX dollar coin and you said, I'm going to go buy some more PulseX with that. So now you go buy some more PulseX. Now her idea is, now you have $1,100 worth of PulseX plus $1,000 for the PulseX. You just got free PulseX. You didn't get free PulseX because what you had to bring to collateralize the original loan is locked. You can't touch it. You can't extract it. It's locked. It's stuck in there. All right. So you do have in your hand now, you have $1,000 worth of PulseX. You started with 1,100, but now you have 1,000. Okay. Now, let's say you bring that PulseX back and you add that to your vault. Your collateral health will go up. It'll go up from 110%, and it'll go up to, who knows what it'll go up to, 200%, we'll say. Okay. Now you can mint some more stable coins. You could do it again. Yes, you could. So now this time you mint some more. You mint this time 900 stable coins, and you go buy $900 for the PulseX, and you add that to your vault. And you keep looping that system over and over and over and over and over. And in your mind, you have a whole bunch of PulseX that you got for free. All right. Because what she said is you're going to get a whole bunch of PulseX for free for just bringing a little value to the table. Not really, because it's all locked in there. It's all stuck. Okay? You can't get it out. Not unless you pay back your loan. And each time you take a loan, that's debt you're adding to your own position. You are making yourself riskier and riskier and riskier every single time. Very much like those leverage exchanges that I talked about earlier, where you only have to bring $1,000 to the table and you can 10x leverage it up to $10,000, but you're going to lose very quickly. The same concept applies here. If you were to do that in a liquidity fork and the price moved a little bit against you, you could lose all that Pulse X. You're not going to have access to any of it, and you're going to lose the $1,000 you brought to the table. And because you spent your stable coins and added what you bought with your stable coins back to the vault, you don't even have anything to show for it. You're empty. Your hands are empty because you put in some collateral, you minted some stable coins, you spent those to buy more of the collateral asset to add to a vault that got locked in there. What do you have in your hands? You have nothing left, right? So if you were liquidated, you have nothing to show for it. You didn't get anything for free. And oh, by the way, if you're liquidated, that doesn't get market sold. The funds are already waiting in the stability pool, ready to instantly pay that off so that the system is in a healthy state immediately, like literally one single block. Or in the same block, it's already paid off. There's no market dump. It doesn't go to Pulse X. Now, could some of those stability depositors withdraw some of their freshly acquired Pulse X and go dump it on the market? Sure, but they lost almost equal value, right? Some of their stable coins burnt because they were using those to purchase that Pulse X. They're up 10% on what was burnt. They're up just a little bit, but it's also proportional. There's hundreds of people or thousands of people in the stability pool. So one guy might be up 10 cents. He's not going to go market dump 10 cents. Another guy might be up $10. He's not going to go market dump, $10 to capture the $1 that he's up, the 10% that he's up. Like, these people typically will keep all their assets right where they're at in the stability pool. Some of those people may go dump, but it's way, way less than going back all the way to the beginning. Remember the choice that the seller had at the beginning? He could either dump his complete bag and leave Pulse Chain, or he could lock some of it in a vault. His choice was to lock some of it in a vault. And even if it's liquidated, the quantity of that asset that gets dumped during a liquidation and liquidity is way less than had that guy just dumped it all at the beginning, right? It's a net positive. This system is literally designed to help prevent people from dumping on each other's heads, and it gives people choices to perhaps have some tax advantages and not sell, and you have a community banking system, very much like a home equity line of credit, but run by the community. Community. This is what DeFi is all about. True DeFi on Pulse Chain is about having choices where we can use our assets in the way we want to without any middlemen or third parties. And that's what these systems are for. And if you FUD these sort of systems, if you're the sort of person who is opposed to a trustless, immutable community banking system, then Pulse Chain ain't for you. You need to go back to the drawing board and get smarter.
I think it's good to straighten these things out, because ever since the announcement of any liquidity fork on Pulse Chain, there's been a lot of knee-jerk reactions, like saying stuff like cascading liquidations. You're going to have to pay back more than you borrowed, which is obviously, all of these are untrue. Obviously, there are no cascading liquidations. You get to keep 90% of the value that you mint. So you got the majority of the value up front. And even if you're liquidated, you lose your collateral, obviously, but then you get to keep the majority of what you came for in the first place. Obviously, if the market goes up, you hold your assets, you keep your stable coins, and your vault is even more healthy collateralized as well. So it's good to straighten these things out, because a lot of people do they don't know much about these things, and they start making these kind of knee-jerk reactions about, you know, what's good and what's bad. And as you said, people now, whether that's PulseX, Pulse, or Hex, they don't have to sell their assets. They don't have to dump on the market. And basically, any of these liquidity forks, I kind of like the phrase I've heard before. They're like a stable coin factory, right? You can just come in here and mint yourself stable coins as long as you've got more collateral. I mean, 110% is the minimum, but obviously higher is safer, and safer is better against liquidation. So it's good that we obviously have this now for Hex, PulseX, and Pulse, and it's good that people can learn about this, whether that's watching our videos or you can go to our website and find the documents on our page. And let's have a quick look at the Flex protocol before we wrap it up, because, you know, it's been going live now. It's been live, the protocol, for around a month. We can see Hex DC sitting at over $1, nice and healthy. What do you think about this, Jesse?
Yeah, this Hex DC has been extremely stable compared to you know, the other stable coins we've seen in the system. I don't know why that is. I literally don't know why that is. It's been consistently over $1. You know, it floats around to like $1.02, like you see there. But you see the other stable coins in Pulse Chain, sometimes, you know, they go to 98 cents, 99 cents, which is also healthy. That's acceptable. There's a range there that all these things have. Until Pulse Chain's bigger and has more adoption, you're going to see some of that. But for some reason, XDC has consistently been like between $1 and $1.02, which I just haven't figured out why that is yet.
Interesting. Well, for anyone who is holding liquid Hex, and we've seen a bit of a dip in the ecosystem, you don't need to. As Jesse just said, you can lock up your Hex here, mint yourself stable coins, and then you have the option to hold on to your Hex as long as you're safely collateralized. So good to come on here, Jesse, and just address that FUD. Anything else you want to say before we wrap this up today?
Nope, I think that'll close it out for today. Yep.
Cool, man. Thanks for coming on, and we'll see you next week.
Cool.
And guys, if you want to check out any of our live dApps at the moment, which is the core, the staking platform for Watt and the PLP token, also the Flex protocol and the Earn protocol, and also PortalX Swap, a DEX bridge aggregator, check the links below in the description. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one.